Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon update. My God, people, if you don't deal with Nazis, you get Nazis helping other Nazis. It's like rats. They unite and protect the other rats. And what the hell am I talking about? Well, Kyle Rittenhouse, the punk that shot and killed 2 people during the George Floyd riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year, is getting ready to stand trial. And this gun owner and Bob's Big Boy hipster logo update drove across state lines and roamed the streets with a loaded AR-15. How could anything bad have possibly happened? Walking the streets with a loaded gun during a protest really makes the X Games kind of look boring. It should have been pay-per-view because I didn't realize The Purge was a documentary. So, Kyle's roaming the streets with a loaded gun, got into a scuffle, and shot and killed a guy. Then he ran away, tripped, and when the people tried to stop him because he just shot a guy, he shot and killed another guy. And at least he's consistent. Now, the weirdest thing to me is the judge in his case said that the prosecutor can't call Kyle Rittenhouse's victims. This is Judge Bruce Schroeder. His reason was victim presupposes the person's guilt. So the people that were shot and killed protesting about George Floyd being killed can't be called victims. They can, however, be called, this is what the judge said, rioters, looters, and arsonists.
The word victim is a loaded word. And I think alleged victim is a cousin to it.
I respectfully disagree, Your Honor. I think it's the exact same issue. The terms that I'm identifying here, such as rioters, looters, arsonists, are as loaded, if not more loaded, than the term victim, Your Honor.
Which, doesn't that presuppose that they were rioting and arsonisting? The judge said that the word victim is a loaded word. You know, like the gun that Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines with. Yeah, it too was loaded, and then was less so after he shot 2 people. The judge from the bench then jokingly threw up a white power symbol. So funny when a white guy with immense power who is supposed to be fair and unbiased lets the hell with that. Let's make sure this white boy knows I got his back after he shot 2 people in the front. What's terrifying is that a teenager was walking the streets free with a loaded weapon. And as he walked past cops that were dealing with the rioters, they gave him a thumbs up. And now this judge is obviously so Caucasoid biased as to say the dead people who were shot dead by this idiot, need to be called arsonists and rioters. But the guy with the gun who left bodies needs his rights protected. Gosh, maybe he's lucky. Alec Baldwin will get this judge. Unbelievable. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. God, I hate my country sometimes. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. How are you guys doing? Hey, Rachel is out of town this week seeing her sister who's going to Hungary, so she's spending a week with her sister because that's what she can tolerate. And so I thought to myself, we need a guest this week. And so Rachel's a 38-year-old ex-supermodel. How do we go as far the other way as possible? Ladies and gentlemen, very funny comedian, friend of mine for about 23 years, John Wing, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, that was pretty specific, that 23 years. Yes, it was, ladies and gentlemen, 1998. What the fuck, 23 years? What is that about?
I have to be accurate. They expect.
I'm not a supermodel.
And by the way, and the Highlanders.
There can be only one.
There can be only one Highlander.
We had the same agent.
Yeah, we had the same agent. Then he became a manager. Yeah.
Oh, I had left him by then.
Yeah, he was very specific. I credit him with a lot of good stuff that happened in my career, and then it got weird. Like after the peak of success, it just was like great, and so I was like, can we help? And I'm a knee-jerk guy. I react. I don't anymore though, but I used to. Yeah.
Okay, we had it was a playground thing.
Really?
I thought, I said to him, if you let this network screw me this way, they said they'd pay for something that I did, even if they didn't air it. And then they said, okay, we're not going to air it, and we don't want to pay you. And I said, they said they would pay for it, whether they aired it or not.
That's why we did it.
And if you let them screw with me, they'll screw with all your people.
Yeah.
And he had another person who does a thing at Montreal every year. Maybe you know the guy. He had another guy who had a show at that network, and he wanted that show to go, and he was afraid. And I said, "This is playground. If you let them, I have you so people don't screw me." Right. And you're allowing this to happen, so I can't be with you anymore.
I have you, so people don't screw me, and I'm being screwed. It's a very simple math equation. Lower your mic so we can see your face.
What?
I wanted,
what? Okay.
No, I wanted more of a Clint Eastwood type, and your voice is gravelly. I didn't realize you got so gravelly.
It's kind of gravelly.
You kept smoking, is what you did.
No, I quit.
Oh, good. Just when your voice
possibly
got like this, you just got the right tone.
Just in time.
You got right the tone. You're like, when I talk like this now,
let's out-gravel each other.
Yeah.
I've always had that. I finally look like the voice I have. It's, you get to a certain age.
I have to ask you, man, because we haven't talked in COVID. We started having guests again, and I assume you're vaccinated, which was dumb to not ask.
Yes.
Okay, thank God. And I've got a booster. We are all vaccinated.
I'm about to get my booster next week.
Booster. Hey, I was tired for
We've got them here if we need. We're dispensing them here.
In a second, I would set everybody up to go in.
Get shot in the neck when they walk through the door.
We've vaccinated all the guests, whether they like to be held or not. He holds them down. We stick them. There's so much in the last 5 years in this country to be angry about. Like, if you have any sense of common decency or any kind of sense of what right and wrong, holy shit. And so how did you handle the last 4 years? Do you just not give a shit? Golfed?
Well, anger is poison for me. So I have a real problem with it, and I have to stay away from it. But when I get to a certain point, the shit gets so high, you need to empty your heart, or the shit's falling so much you need to wear a hat like that. We do a news blackout at the house sometimes.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Rachel would love to hear this. Damn it, we can't let Rachel hear this.
We do a week or 2 weeks we blackout. We don't watch any of our news programs, and we just, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Can I swear on your podcast? I don't want to fucking know.
Yeah, exactly. Can you swear on my podcast?
But you can.
And it's almost impossible. It's like it was
a brilliant idea.
When someone says, my daughter will say, I got to work. I can't watch the Australian Open tennis match I really want to watch. So I'll have to stay off Twitter for 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever. And you can't do it.
But as a comic, don't you feel compelled to just stay connected?
Well, but that's different. That's a different thing. As I get older, and I'm.
No, we looked it up.
31.
Double that. So every year you get older. If you're trying to be an artist, you have to fill yourself with what is relevant in culture.
It's our clay. That knowledge is our clay.
But every year it gets harder. Because every year you have to stuff in shit. It's like, why do I need to know this? Why do I need to give a shit about Britney Spears and her father and the thing? Why do I have to care about that? I don't. But you have to put it in. You have to know it. So you can reference things. So you have a reference point.
So you have somewhere to go.
But a news blackout is just, I don't watch news programs because I've finally started to notice that. It occurred to me the other day, maybe this infrastructure thing and this other thing that they're trying to do, maybe that would already be done if the media wasn't reporting it second by second.
Play by play,
Maybe if they weren't reporting every Joe Manchin took a shit at 4:30 today and was unavailable for
had not made Manchin and cinema fucking famous. We are addicted.
It gives them more power.
It gives them more power. And I tweeted out last night. And by the way, here's how addicted I am to the news. And Rachel would love to hear that. When you said we have a week blackout, I had a weird thing go through my body. No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I did. I had can't even. What would I do? I don't. What?
It's gotten so bad where the culture is now telling everyone what they're supposed to be talking about.
Yes.
You have to keep talking about this. And it's like, well, what if you don't have a thought about it?
Perfect example this weekend, it rolls right into what we did there on Armageddon Bay. Perfect example. There was a fucking horrible accident on a movie set. Now, we've been on sets. You and I have been on sets. We know what we're doing. You've been on sets. someone fucked up, and it was a simple fuck up. It was that someone, first of all, those guys were shooting that gun while they were on their lunch break. They were out
was practicing.
Right.
The fuck are you
with
doing?
it loaded. That's number one.
That's the fucking money gun. You leave that shit alone. That's for the actors. And then it went through like 3 different hands, and no one rechecked it. You fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Okay, so they should all be fired.
Yep.
And that's the end of the story. It was a horrible accident that shouldn't have happened. The media, while this is going on, Rolling Stone reports that that the people in Congress were actually in the war room planning the insurrection on January 6th. Doesn't get any coverage.
But it does. You're not totally correct. Yes, it gets covered. I was thinking of that exact same thing. But the coverage is last 5 minutes of the hour.
Yes.
Last 10 minutes of the hour.
It's buried.
The Alec Baldwin is first.
43
Mansion
minutes.
and Cinema are second.
Yeah.
And then the war room thing. Now, not everybody. It's weird being. Sometimes you're home all day with the dogs, and
I hear
let's say MSNBC is on, and you note that as the day gets later in the day, that story creeps closer.
Right.
By the time you get to Chris Hayes, maybe it's middle of the pack. By the time you get to Rachel Maddow, it's in the first.
Well,
block,
I find that Rachel Maddow has a tendency to go after what's important. She's a thinker. I find she has a tendency to pick.
She's the only one who refuses to do a story without giving you historical context on that.
Oh, yeah.
story.
Well, Ray and I used to get like, we watch Rachel Maddow. We watch all the channels, but Fox I can watch for a while, and then I go, that's bullshit. Knowing, problem is all the other news, and then I do research because of the podcast, I kind of know what happened. And when I see Fox, and I'm like, that's not what fucking happened.
Yeah.
And so when Rachel goes, in 1927, I go, oh shit, and I sit down. I'm like, whatever. I don't know what's coming, but if she started
She's going to link it. She does
14
links.
people were shot in a restaurant. Oh no, what just happened today?
The night owl killings. It was the night owl killings.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa. Like depending on how violent what happened in the past is, you could actually totally connect it to, oh no, I don't know what happened, but she's about to reveal
and this
something.
has happened 50 times already, and we forgot about the last 49.
She busted Daryl Posca a year and a half before anyone else did.
That's right. She did.
Was busting all these Russian oligarchs. So, and then again, we have this entire thing that goes down with Alec Baldwin. Got it. He's celebrity. But you guys are news. Fucking let it go. This is a horrible accident happened. Hope someone
He's
gets arrested.
exec producer, though.
No.
As soon as I heard it, I thought, did he fire the gun? Yes, he did. And I thought, I hope he's not the exec producer. Because if he is, he's responsible.
He's liable.
Well, also,
I mean, not.
So they were doing the shot. I figured it out the second I saw it. And Ray goes, "How the hell did they shoot the center of target?" Because they were doing that shot down the barrel of the gun. I go, I know exactly what they were doing. I know exactly the shot they were going for. But if you're doing that shot, you actually have the armorer checks it. Then he gives it to his assistant.
They were just rehearsing.
They hand it back.
First of all,
why did he pull the trigger, dude?
We can make a gun.
He's better than that. He's a better actor than that.
Why are we still using prop guns? We can make a gunshot look realistic coming out of our eyeballs.
Yeah. We can
on
do
the
it on
computer.
We can do it here.
Exactly.
Most of it is done that way now.
Well, the John Wick movies, because there's so much going on.
You want to hear a great John Wick joke?
They can't do it. Yeah, John. I thought about John Wick.
My wife, John Wing. He says,
John Wing.
There's a joke.
That's
a friend of mine does a joke. I saw John Wing kill 20 people in a bar.
John
with
Wing
a
5.
Fucking pencil joke.
Pencil joke.
But my wife.
I was singing that away.
My wife came in one night and she said, "Are there any movies?" And I said, "John Wick 3." And she said, I didn't see the first 2 John Wicks, so I don't think I could follow it.
Oh, yeah. You don't need to follow it.
Wow.
You wouldn't be able to follow it.
Well, you're not gonna
so
like the
why is he
first one.
killing these 14 guys?
Yeah, 45 guys. You don't. You might like. Rachel
First one's good.
She couldn't watch it because of the dog. She's like, "What? They killed his dog." I'm like,
They have to kill his
You got
dog.
it.
There's no movie unless they kill his dog.
You need that's the
There's no
MacGuffin. That's
movie. Spoiler alert, by the way. It's the first 5 minutes. So then this Rittenhouse thing comes out. This judge, I never understood. I always knew voting was important, but it was like an external thing as I was growing up. MTV, vote, get the vote, rock the vote. Remember all that shit?
Yeah.
So. And we were like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to be responsible. And there was a base level of it that I never took it very seriously until you fucking see what Mitch McConnell and these guys did by installing judges and the shit he's moving, and you realize, oh shit, I am so aware how important voting is. Yeah. I mean, this one goes back 3 elections, but if you don't understand how important voting is now, you're not paying attention. It's crazy. So now these judges, we have this judge for Kyle Rittenhouse, and we watched the video. It's going to be in the Armageddon update. The kid walks down the street, kills 2 people. People are like, that guy just shot a guy, and they chase him. They knock him down. Yeah, he turns around and he fucking starts fucking shooting people that are trying to stop him. Then he gets up, walks past the cops, and the cops wave at him. And the video's brutal. I watched it yesterday we were doing the map for the Armageddon update, and I was like, and then this judge, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, you saw Armageddon update. This judge came out, and this judge is a nut, by the way. He came out and he said, told the prosecutors they couldn't call the people who were killed the victims. He couldn't call the victims. They were shot and killed. He said, but you can call them rioters, looters, or arsonists. And he said you can't call because Kyle Rittenhouse. It hurts him. He shot. We have him. It's on videos. It's the videos right there.
But he's a stickler. I'm not sure.
He's crazy. He's done things like he had a woman that got a shoplift. I looked it up today. So the same judge had a woman who got busted for shoplifting. For under $500. Her sentence was whenever she walked into a retail store, she had to go to the manager and say,
I'm a shoplifter.
I'm a shoplifter. And he said because we don't have stockade anymore, I think people should be humiliated. Now he lost that judgment on appeal, but because the guy he's crazy as shit in this. I'll give you eccentric.
Well,
and he has so many cases that have left his court that it literally backed up the court cases for the other judges because he barely had anything in his court. So how do you end up giving this big deal case of a kid who crossed state lines with an AR-15 and started to hunt people, to hunt protesters? How the fuck? How do you give? You don't.
The lawyer in the case, Rittenhouse's lawyers might have been able to.
Yeah, of course.
So we want this.
Like this is the guy.
Yeah,
the guy who wants to do lynches and witchcraft and
there's a way to do that. There's lawyers have their ways of getting to the judge they want, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, but it's like it's such a bull. It's like Kyle Rittenhouse, who literally he looks like he's 14 years old. Like what parenting? Like, can we have his parents on trial? Like, who taught this kid to grab an AR-15? Like, my dad would have been like, "Give me that fucking. What did you get?" Like, my dad would have lost his shit if I picked up a gun and was walking outside with it.
Well, clearly his parents were, they're gun nuts.
Man.
I'm sure they're hard right wing.
I'm glad we have John on the podcast because I just wanted kind of different. We all know what me and Ray think.
Yeah.
The country, John's always a thinker. His comedy is so smart. By the way, people, if you can go see John Wing, go see John Wing. They're one of the best joke writers. Fun, like this. I remember I'd watch you and back. I'm like, I have to write better. I would be like, I have to work on that joke. Distill, crystallize the thought. Anyway, so what do we like? I feel like we're actually losing control of not just the democracy, not just the country with the Republicans. I think we're losing control of a common decency that kind of united us. That's gone now. I've never seen it like this.
Of what we understood this country to represent.
I mean, 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was like, all right, everything. Even when both sides were fighting, you were like, well, they were off. They were off by this far. Now they're. It's now they're.
We'll get there. We'll compromise.
I have people come up to me occasionally after a show
because you're freaking Canadian.
After a show. And they'll say, well, one night some guy came up to me and said, I really like what you said. Oh, thank you. And he said, I really like those conservative ideas you were putting out there. And I said,
no.
Which ideas were those? And the ideas he was talking about were family and they're liberal ideas too, man. They're just
why is that a concern?
Yeah, family, children, being a decent person. Like
all that stuff.
Oh,
being nice to your wife, that kind of crap.
Yeah, man, you're really on the right. You're really going down hardcore right wing.
But here's the thing. Try not to hate people.
Yeah, right.
Because if somebody tells you that your enemy is a person who disagrees with you politically,
right?
That's insane.
I like the liberal ideas you're presenting here.
What liberal
idea? That's a liberal idea.
What are you talking about?
But that's the assumption.
What's the real difference between Democrats and Republicans? Every once in a while, Democrats do something for poor people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Every once in a while.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's the sliver.
As we've just proven with this whole bill that just went through, every once in a while. And the only way, I just think and again, it just seemed to be like they wanted to do good for the country. Now these motherfuckers are not doing. It's like they're going out of
They
the way.
want the country to fail when they're not in power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why that's when Delta came and they were telling people don't get vaccinated. I kept talking to Highlander.
That's unbelievable.
I'm like, wait, why? And then I thought, because their guy killed 600,000 people. They need Biden to lose a couple 100,000 so they can go, see, it's not that easy, is it?
How about this? You want to hear something?
This is my
funny?
conspiracy. By the way, welcome to Tinfoil Hat Hour.
You want to hear here's a great conspiracy.
All right.
Somebody, I found this Patriot Takes guy or whatever guy on Twitter who
he
show you what's going on Gab and other places.
I love that. I love that guy. That guy's there's a guy.
He's a cool guy.
Patriot Takes, because he basically shows you the craziest shit you've ever seen. And you're like, that's going on another site.
So
Even people on Grindr are like, this is too far.
Grindr, what? I'm not.
I love those
I'm not
conservative.
on Grindr. Will you stop?
Well, it's one of my conservative.
It's spelled without an E,
I like
right?
your
I have
conservative
no
ideas.
idea what you're talking about. I'm on Hinge. That's Tinder for hipsters.
I'm on
Anyway.
Unhinged.
No, so guy said that the cinematographer who got killed,
Right.
her next project was going to be an expose of Hollywood pedophiles.
Oh, here we go. It's always somebody who's got taken out.
But right?
Yeah.
I mean, but it's what is it? It's there's a guy in a room. It writes itself.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. It
Hold
writes
on.
itself. Here you go.
Here's the slug line.
Kyle
Hollywood
Rittenhouse.
pedophiles. End of sentence. That's the pitch meeting. I have an aunt and uncle I love dearly. They're conservative, and they're just my aunt is the nicest person. We were at I think we've talked about this before. We were at a family vacation, and she just goes, all these people in Hollywood, they're just pedophiles and stuff. And Ray and I turned to her and I go, I had my own television show. I've like sold script, like I'm in Hollywood. Like
We're physically in Hollywood.
That's literally my job. And I go, do you think we're pedophiles? And it fried her circuits for a second. She was like, and my question is, all the pedophiles we seem to know, Jim Jordan backed up the pedophile that was messing with the kids and the thing.
Oh, yeah.
We have all, if you go down the list, the only people that, Jeffrey Epstein, it's a lot of conservative motherfuckers. Like, the pedophiles are, it goes back to Goebbels, like, just accuse your opponent
of what
you're doing.
I noticed you and Rachel are married?
Yes.
Okay, how long?
8 years now. We've been together 16.
Okay. There are times in a relationship when you build yourself up with, she never does this shit.
Yeah.
She never does this shit. Why didn't she do this shit? She knows I like it. Why doesn't she fucking do it? And you build it up in yourself. And then after however long it takes, from a week to a year, you finally talk about it and you discover that she's been thinking of you in the exact same terms.
Yeah.
About the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He never does this shit. And that's when I realized, that's the political thing. If they accuse us, they're guilty of what they're guilty of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, whatever they say we do, that's what they're doing. We all the voter fraud they found this year was Republicans voting for their dead wives.
Yeah, using and their mothers and using their dead mothers' stuff. Yeah, and that's the. Do you know? So we have a friend in our family that works for a very conservative website, and I have been taught. So my wife said, "I've been taught. Can't talk about them. I can't talk about them. I can't argue with them because I will." We found out that they were talking about voter fraud. 3,000 total cases of possible voter fraud. 3,336.
Yep.
Countrywide. Of those, 80% was like addresses mismatches and like weird
Clerical
and
bullshit.
and like name wrong, like the machine read the name wrong.
James M, James A.
Yes,
like
there was
that.
there was literally 318 cases of actual people attempting to actually vote for someone who wasn't them.
318 out of the entire
330 million, 180 million votes cast. And of those 318, every single one of them got caught and prosecuted. Mm-hmm. So it's and I think only 110 of those are really like hardcore motherfuckers tried to change the election.
Yeah.
So even if you took the entire number, it wouldn't have changed not a single election.
Yep.
But remember that when you steal an election, Okay, let's talk about 2000.
Okay.
Okay,
That was brutal.
he won by 324 or something in
Bush
Florida.
or Gore?
Florida.
Yeah.
Bush won Florida by 324 votes, something
Right.
like that.
A lot of James A's.
But he
voted.
didn't. They didn't steal 324 votes to win. They had to steal thousands.
Yep, right.
Right. And go back to read Means of Ascent. It's about the 1948 Democratic Senate primary in Texas between Lyndon Johnson and Coke Stevenson, and it's a blueprint on how you steal an election. And Lyndon won by 87 votes, and he did it the way Trump called Georgia and said, "Can you find me?" They needed. They stole 200 votes at the end, but they didn't steal. They didn't win it by stealing 200 votes. They stole enough votes to get to the point where 200 would win it. You know what I mean?
Right. So there's a lot more theft going on.
Right. Of course there is. Of course there is.
Right.
And
But is that what you think happened in this last election?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because I don't think so. But the first election.
No. This last election, Democrats would not be denied their voting rights. They would.
I think there's a lot of not this motherfucker
they
again.
discovered-
I think that was on a poster.
and
Not
they-
this
right.
motherfucker
And
again.
election night, I don't know about you, but we were very depressed because it was obvious he was going to lose, but it was going to be razor thin again.
Yeah.
It was not a repudiation of this horse's ass, the most ill-equipped guy. Philip Roth said Bush was president and he's a man unfit to run a hardware store. And Trump is 5 steps down that ladder.
Yeah. Ray and I had a conversation about Bush. He said something at a funeral when Trump was elected, and we were like, wow, isn't it great to hear a guy who knows how to speak? And then we both got ourselves like,
Wow, we've really fallen.
Well, now he does. But okay, so no, I don't think it was stolen. I think the Democrats rose up. Plus,
It wasn't.
the pandemic made mail-in voting almost mandatory.
Yeah.
And as that's what it is now. Once it becomes, that's why they're trying to screw with the post office. We can't send mail to Australia.
I saw this yesterday. How? And here's my question: is the post office private? Because at what point does our president step in and go, "You're a danger to the country. Get the fuck out of this job"?
I don't know how they can do it, but they've got to do it at some point.
Yeah.
But do you remember? It just happens though. Talking about stuff that you're mad about, or what makes you mad, and I hear yesterday, can't send mail to Australia anymore. What the fuck? And
Yeah,
then
I
I
don't know
think,
anybody in Australia.
Yeah, we just saw
I
that.
do know people, but have I ever sent mail to Australia? No, I never have. And the only time
So
I
what
ever
I
got
did was I
mail from-
emailed everybody in Australia. Sorry, fuckers, I'm not going to be sending you. Not going to be hearing from me for a while because I can't send mail.
Fucking Biden.
Send. Yeah, but the media jumped all over it. But it's and I think the media, the media about Alec Baldwin and not going after this crazy judge about Rittenhouse. And if it's on fire, they'll show it.
But they never. They're always. The media has become even. God help us.
CNN
even
and
our
MSC.
media.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
watch
all of
CNN.
it. I agree.
I am not capable of watching CNN.
Why is that?
I don't know why.
Do you watch Fox?
No, I can't. I watch, if I'm going to watch a news show, I watch MSNBC.
Right.
There are 3 shows I like.
Yeah.
I like Nicole Wallace because,
Yeah.
God, I like you, Nicole.
He really likes
God, I
Nicole
really like
Wallace.
her. My wife calls her my girlfriend.
That's
Is your girlfriend? Did you watch your girlfriend?
She's the one that's called bullshit one day, isn't she?
Yeah, she did chicken shit.
She
said
called him chicken.
shit.
It's chicken shit. I remember we were at the house in Hollywood Hills before, and I was getting ready for something, and I hear Nicole Wallace go, "It's just chicken shit," and I just say, "What is going on?"
And I like Chris Hayes, and my wife likes Rachel Maddow, so we usually watch them. But I can't watch Fox. I can listen to talk radio for about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes. Some days I'll listen to Dennis Prager just to hear something I can put on Twitter that he said.
I used to do that with Rush. I would listen to Rush from before he died.
I could never listen to
And
Rush.
thank God he's dead. Some say God rest his soul, but thank God he's dead.
Speaking of listening,
yeah.
this episode is
Oh, here
brought
we
to you
go.
by UE Ultimate Ears headphones.
By
Ooh,
the way, so he has a voice like this, and we make him do it like this now because he has a good.
They are
I
the
have
best
to wake him up every
headphones.
morning.
They are the
Good
best
morning,
headphones.
Titus.
They are.
Call to action. No, that's not.
No,
That's for me
you
to
don't read
wait,
that
that's
part.
for
You
me
just
to
read what it says under that.
Restart. For a limited time, get 15% off your pair of Ultimate Ears Fits True Wireless Earbuds at ue.com/fits. Just use promo code Titus at checkout. That's 15% off with promo code Titus at ue.com/fits.
You know, there's someone at the UE Fits company, because we usually just riff and ad, and then that's like, this is how I like them. I want them like you. So you're going to do all of them. I do have to say this. I travel all the time. I have the other brand of headphones. They fall out all the time. Yep. I've lost them under the seat. Like I can bing, 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 and they're the perfect shape to bounce erratically. So now I have to go to the guy in front of me. Dude, can you look down and see it? This happened 3 times in 3 flights. Can you get my headphones up on the table?
When you blow your nose, like
UE Fits. You put the pieces in, you put them in, you turn them on. It heats them up. It fits your ears. Yeah. I can run. I can work out. I can do, and they don't fall out.
Yep.
And the sound is phenomenal. And you can hook it up to your phone.
Yeah, especially now.
Do the whole thing.
With everybody using this, their phone and their device using headphones, this is the time to get custom headphones.
Custom.
And by the way, everybody who's used this code and bought a set of these has hit me back on my email, on the company email. They're like, dude, these are awesome.
Yeah.
So go get them.
We're also brought to you today by Harbinger knee pads. Yes, Harbinger knee pads. You'll be needing a knee pad. Try Harbinger. Special discounts for Catholics and call girls.
Very nice. That was beautiful.
You can do the next one.
So what do we do? So I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. This is my problem with what's going on in the country right now. And I don't mean to be so political with this, because we should just talk about comedy, but I don't know how to fix it. It seems like things are going off the rails. And then you got Cinema and Manchin who are like, dude, we fucking just went through a nightmare. And someone was pointing out there's no billionaires. He wants, I don't think we should tax billionaires. How about we just fucking make them pay what they're supposed to? How about that?
Right.
How about that? And he's like, well, I don't think it's fair to go after somebody. And then they find out there's not a billionaire in West Virginia. Not one. Not one. 78% of the country wants this done, and there's not one billionaire in West Virginia. How the fuck is that possible? Which, by the way, is great to you, Joe Manchin. There's a guy named Don Winslow who does ads.
Yeah, I know Don.
He's great. And he said, he did the ad about Manchin. So Manchin makes $5 million a year. He's made over $5 million in the last 5 years or 10 years over coal money. His wife has made $600,000 a year from coal money. He has a coal company. He basically take old coal and they sell it to energy companies. And he's the one who said, you need to cut the clean electricity thing out of this bill.
That part of it, the stonewalling.
Yeah.
It's not even stonewalling. It's the corruption is it's not even
endemic.
We don't even have to look for it. It's like you own a coal company that's where you make all your money, and you're going to kill the clean electricity.
Got a fucking yacht.
And by the way, West Virginia ain't getting rid of the coal for a while. You're good. Yeah. But the rest of this fucking country that has open land that can actually, I just don't get it, man. And no one's doing anything. How come there's no laws that you just go, hey, you're corrupt as shit, you're out?
Well, we need 60 senators to really make some laws.
But the filibuster, all right.
We need to be able to say to Republicans, no, you can't change the rules again. You can't change the rules to when you're in power and then change them back when we are. We're going to make the rules for both.
That's what they did, though.
That's exactly what they did.
That's how the Supreme Court is so screwed up right now. But I'm saying this: the filibuster, all it does, it kills democracy. We have a majority rule country, 100%, and whether it's 51 to 50, no, it kills it. It kills it. The minority party.
It didn't always.
It didn't always, because people had common sense. Because there was a shared belief that we don't need to legislate everything. There was a shared belief that we work for the country.
Right.
That's gone.
Yep.
That is gone. So there's a shared belief
we work for the power and the money now.
Our side better fucking win so I can get the most money. When Kristen Sinema goes from having a 32, and by the way, I'm going after Democrats too, $32,000 net worth 8 years ago. Her net worth now is over $1 million.
Who's this?
Kristen Sinema.
Oh, Sinema, yeah. She's appears to be someone who tried to be all things to all people.
Yeah, she's Marcy from the Peanuts cartoon, except with a lot more evil bent.
I was like Chan. Oh, sorry.
Here's what the Here's what the filibuster does. Filibuster makes it so the minority party gets to run things.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it does.
It's the one wild card.
Except the Democrats wouldn't use it that way when they were in the minority.
No, they didn't. No, that's another thing. There seems to be a little more, but that's
a little more.
We need some ballsy Democrats that really, and I think some of the progressives are
play
like
hardball.
Some of the progressives are like that, but they don't have the power right now.
No, they don't.
And you've got people 85 fucking years old, like Dianne Feinstein, that want to run again. What are you doing?
Oh, that's it.
What are you doing? You can't.
That's criminal.
We're watching you work to hold your head up.
She falls asleep. Yeah. well, I don't understand why power is that enticing at that age. You could retire. You have a great pension. I
You've got
said it to
millions
my I
of
said
them.
it to my brother recently. I said, man, look at you. You've worked all these years. You got a house worth all this money. You could cash out, go back to our hometown, join the golf club, play golf every day for 6 months a year. How is that shitty?
Right.
Why would you want to keep working? I like my job, but I loved having 2 years off to do any project I wanted to do.
I have to be honest. We busted our ass here filming all these things we did, but I have to be honest, man, to not get on a plane every week.
Oh my God, that was
it's
amazing.
enticing.
I'm starting next week.
I know. We're back.
Nice.
Rachel was so like her entire health got better over that year and a half. We stayed home and all we went to was here in the house. That was all we did. And we didn't get anybody sick. We had 10 or 12 shows. Nobody got sick. We actually would spray the room, and we had cameras, and we had editing, and it was fucking awesome. Now I'm back on the road again, and it's a nightmare every day. I'm not the shows. Please welcome and thank you. Good night.
It's great.
Brilliant. Getting on the fucking plane, going through TSA. Why are we still taking our shoes off? Why are we still taking our... No other country in the world takes their fucking shoes off. Why are we still taking our shoes off? So what do you... So let me ask you.
Because of the shoe bomber,
I know.
man.
One guy 25 years ago...
we've got x-rays
One guy
now. Come
20
on.
years ago had a shoe... And then why don't we take our underwear off? Because I had an underwear bomber too. Why don't we strip down naked every time?
Yep.
And no other country's doing the shoe thing, and we're still doing it. I think it's a psychological controlling thing. Or do you think they're just dumb?
But you once you have a travel day is work.
Yeah.
The hardest
100%.
day of your job when you work as a comic is the travel day.
Oh, yeah.
It's the hardest day.
They
You don't
have
get enough
shows
sleep?
and they travel that same day. I'm like, what? Why? Why are you?
Oh, I will. I
is-
try not to do that.
I'm gonna feel the stress from you guys being sleep deprived.
I was always, one time I slept in, I had an early morning flight. I slept in an hour longer than I wanted to. And I still got to the airport an hour and 45 minutes before my flight.
Wow. See, that's
And I slept in an hour
yeah, but here's the thing. Today...
because I want to be so early I can hang out at the airport.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Today you showed up early, uncomfortably.
I'm always early.
You showed up uncomfortably early.
I apologize.
and that's all right.
Rude. It was rude. How dare you?
Yeah, but
Isn't
look,
that weird that
man,
we've switched now to become
you
like
should
late?
have called and said, look, I'm taking a dump between such and such and such and so don't show up in that area.
All right, yeah, exactly. This is my time, John. This is
sorry,
my time. I'm poop tweeting. Leave me.
There's only two things I'm afraid of, John. What's that? A stroke and a paper cut on my dick. Those are the only two things that I'm afraid of in
Your
this
dad is
life.
and these are moments with John Wing's father. So what? So you're going to go back on the road again, which is great. I think it's great. You are one of the
ships.
smartest comics I've ever seen.
Ships.
Yeah, but that's how don't you go? I did one cruise and I went nuts.
No, but I like it.
Okay.
I've got hobbies.
Yeah.
My silly hobbies.
Yeah.
I do needlepoint, which is great
Legit?
for
For
planes.
real?
Legit.
Okay.
Great for planes.
Where's
Cross
our-
stitch needlepoint.
Yeah.
What?
Where's our welcome
Where's
gifts?
the Titus
Where's our
podcast
pillows?
sampler pillow?
I don't do pillows. I don't do pillows. No way.
Where's our blankets?
Man, did
know what
you
I
call
do? How
yourself
dare
a
you?
needle pointer? You call
I do.
yourself?
I buy patterns
Coasters,
for
something
famous
small.
paintings, and I do them.
I'm sorry.
Not so famous paintings, but
Does paintings?
mostly.
You
I do
needle,
paintings.
so you look at a painting and then needle
No,
point
no.
the painting?
I buy a pattern of it.
Oh, and
I
you're
buy
doing the
a-
Last Supper, and it's like
I don't do the Last Supper. There's a very particular Canadian painter who Steve Martin collects,
Right.
named Lauren Harris. Check him out.
you're like Jackson Pollock. Look at
Surreal,
that.
very
Yeah.
surreal Arctic stuff. It's fun, and I do a lot of him. And right now, I'm doing the border of a painting, which is.
Do you find that this thing? Because I
find it calm.
I started playing guitar for this exact reason, and I'm shitty at it. He's a real musician. Last night Ray wasn't here, and she's been gone for a week, and I'm stressed. And I grabbed the guitar and I played the river like 5 times. And
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good one to play. Yeah.
and then I'm sad, and I was happy because I'm playing. And at the end of it, I was like, whew, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing on ships is at night you come back to the room, and I've got a hard drive full of movies, and you pick out a movie, something I've watched a bunch of times, so I can listen to it, and I pull up whatever I'm working on, put the movie on, and just.
Wow.
At home, I do it with YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll just find something I want to watch on YouTube and just
Just let them keep rolling.
yeah.
You
All
need
right.
to put your work on start an Etsy store. That's
I
your
don't
next
sell
career.
The work, but no, it takes 3 to 6 months to make one. What am I gonna charge for it? $10.
It's worth it. Come on.
I'm making 1/3 of a cent a minute.
Well, you play guitar still, though. Yeah.
Yep, and piano, and I've gotten a lot better at the piano since I do the podcast.
So when you go to a club, do you work any of that into your act anymore?
Absolutely. I have songs for the act. Yes,
Right?
yes.
Because that'd be great to have a piano, wouldn't it? Be go instrument. Because Carvey, I remember when I started and I worked with Dana Carvey. Carvey would have they'd put a piano on stage at a little club in Sunnyvale, Rooster T. Feathers, and fucking Carvey would go up with a guitar. He'd kill. By the way, just so you know, he wasn't a guitar act. He like you, great material, killer. And then he'd spend the last 15 minutes.
That's what I would do.
And he would pull the guitar, and that's where Choppin' Broccoli. I saw Choppin' Broccoli when I was 21. He was doing that bit when I was 21 before Saturday Night Live. And I've never seen any other comic than Dana Carvey. I would watch him every show. He would do the same jokes a different way every show. And I learned from him, and I tell people this all the time. I brought it up to him one day, and he goes, I don't remember saying that. I go, no, you said it at Rooster T. Feathers when I was a little kid. You said you have to learn to tell the same story again for the first time.
Yep.
So now when I'm on stage, if I start to drop into that rote thing, that's why I change a new act every not any more than 2 years. Every 18 months, I try to write a new hour because I never want to have that thing where because we did it for years where as you're 4 years into the same act and all of a sudden it's coming towards your head and you hear the next bit and you're like, inside the little voice is going, God, I fucking hate this bit.
You need to break it. Like you need to somehow disrupt it.
What happens is a guy will come up to you and say, remember that joke you used to do about the guy with the girl and you go, oh yeah. So how come you don't do that anymore? And you go, I don't know. And you realize that your subconscious hated it.
Edited it.
And took it out one night. One night, it was always in this spot in the show. One night, you didn't do it, and you never did it again. Ever. Mm-hmm. And you didn't even notice that you weren't doing it anymore until the guy came up a year later and said, how come you don't do this joke?
The show just got better.
And the two bits that it was separating are now fused.
Yeah.
And you can't, the joke is no longer anywhere.
Because Rachel's 11 years into stand-up now. She did her first special last year, and she actually worked comedy clubs for 6 years. She ran them. And then we got together.
Weird. I married a comic too.
After my divorce. Well, she wasn't a comic though, but she was giving me jokes that were too good. I was getting irritated. I'm like, whoa. And so I said, you need to start writing comedy. And she started, cause she since she'd booked and worked, managed these clubs, she knew everybody. She had seen so much.
That's a great education.
Comedy, so much fucking comedy, good, bad, and indifferent what had happened. And she wrote this show, and she went on stage the first time she did one of the Ice House comedy competition, came in second, and then she's been working with me, and I think it's brutal. People say, oh, she didn't have to pay any dues. I go, no. She had to pay dues. She had to work with me.
Speaking of,
I take comedy. What are we speaking of?
Comedy and laughter.
We have to pay dues.
All right, what do we do?
This episode is brought to you by
paying dues.
Bruce Toothbrush.
Oh, Bruce Toothbrush. These are awesome.
Wait a minute.
You're the best ad copy guy we've ever
had. Which
had.
one am I doing?
Bruce Toothbrush. It's this one. Go ahead.
Hold on, let me put some music on.
I can't. Personal endorsement.
Yeah, I'm not going to just read it willy-nilly. I want to read Bruce Toothbrush. Give me the
Okay.
Give me the goddamn map. Jesus
Well, we
Christ,
just lost.
it's right there
I'm
for
glad
Christ's
we have
sake.
lost an advertiser. By the way, thank you for being on the show, Bruce. You were honestly the best toothbrushes I've
You know
ever
how
used.
I feel when my teeth are super clean after brushing with Bruce? You know, I feel great. Because my teeth, look at it. Look at these teeth. I'm sorry. Bruce toothbrushes. For example, I smile more confidently.
Yep.
Comfortably. I feel great about having a healthy oral hygiene. The Bruce toothbrush. I wake up to it. I go to bed with it. I sleep with it. The Bruce toothbrush. The convenience of not worrying when to replace your brush head. Of your
the
toothpaste.
subscription they send you,
Because it's a subscription program. It comes in the mail.
But the toothbrush itself, I had the other kind and they were giant. It was like a baseball bat with a toothbrush on the top. And now these are like
Sparks coming out of it. Wobbly.
By the way, Kevin Hart's invested in it. I have to tell you, it's about the size, even smaller than this, and it's got 8 different settings on it. And
cool.
I just had all this dental work done, and so I had teeth replaced. I had to do it. There's a whole bit in my new
Implants?
show. Yeah, I have 2 here, and I have 1 here, and then I had had the whole thing rebuilt. Actually, I take it back. I have 4 here. Well, it changed the way the spaces in my teeth. They look good, but there's a space, and so stuff gets in there. The brush, without flossing, I have stuff to floss, a lot. But if I just go because the sonic whatever it's doing,
It shakes it out.
Yeah, every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much better.
It feels like when you just left the dentist's office. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
clean.
Oh, that clean.
It's
Oh,
that
that's
clean.
cool.
Yeah.
Like you're just like,
And I've had all the other electric toothbrushes before, and this is by far the best.
Has anyone tried?
What's
I
their
only
code?
just started this.
Yeah.
Tying a knot in the floss.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
Have you ever tried that?
No.
Tie 2, 3 at the most.
Knots,
little knots. And
How
at
do
the
you-
end, at the end, it's easy.
I
At
don't
the end
have
of
the-
floss, you can do it.
Yes, you do.
I need to use those
Floss, and
swords.
then
I can't
you floss, and then
Oh,
at
the
the end,
swords.
you just pull the knot through
and out comes a tooth that
No,
you
no.
tied to the door.
Well, yeah.
I didn't know
but-
you did it. When I did it, I felt like one of the Wright brothers. I'm like, no one's ever thought of this.
Exactly.
Not in the floss.
Yeah, I thought of that.
So get $15 off your Bruche toothbrush kit and refill plan when you use promo code Titus at Bruche.com/Titus. That's BRUUSH.com/Titus. That's $15 off using promo code Titus at Bruche.com/Titus.
I wish I had a board with duck noises like a morning show.
Can I give you another one of my commercials that
Sure,
I wrote
yeah,
for
yeah,
the podcast?
yeah.
Today we're also brought to you by Jeremiah Hand Baskets. The world is coming to an end. The world is going to hell, and you'll be needing a hand basket. Try Jeremiah Hand Baskets. So use our promo code Holy shit to get a 15% discount.
And now back to the
You
Titus
wrote fake
podcast.
masks. Very,
I did for mine,
Very
yeah.
Carlin-esque.
Yeah, actually, it's more
Carlin-esque.
Bob and Ray.
Bob and Ray too.
Bob
yeah.
and Ray.
Yeah, I miss
Einbinder flypaper was theirs. But I came up, I'm doing
Bob
my...
and Ray. That was
That
I
goes way
forgot
back.
about them, but they're awesome. They were
They were great.
Awesome.
They were amazing. I'm going to my final next week. I'm recording my final.
I thought he was going to say
podcast.
resting place. I'm like, I didn't know what he was going to say.
next week,
Harry, you went
I'm
there.
going to
Recording
my final resting
and I'm
place.
gonna
What's
do-
going on?
At the opening, I'm going to do all the sponsors I wrote over 75 episodes. Because we had Flankman spoons and Rickelman doorknobs and Jeremiah hand baskets and Harbinger knee pads, and my favorite was Zeppelshauer potato peelers. Yes, potato peeling technology once available only to the military, and now in your kitchen.
It's a lot of artisan kitchenware.
But I love the names are brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
we
what
just-
I mean. The
we
way
just
you
had
write
so much fun
the
with it.
details. Did you have a writer to help you with it, or you saw
Nope,
you?
did
Saw
it
you?
all myself.
Yeah, we actually started doing sketch shows during the thing. We were running out of I'd done my stand-up show that I'd written that during the pandemic, and we had comics come in, and I'm like, well, let's do sketches. So we wrote sketches, and Ray found a thing. She's so good at them. You ever have work with an improv guy? We're comics, so we okay, am I being funny? She has such an improv skill in a sense that she does a character. Fuck, it's crazy how far she'll go.
Yeah.
To a point, I'm in the middle of a scene with her going, what the fuck?
Like, where have you been hiding?
That's
What is
awesome.
this?
It was awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, so we did those, man. Zubba, now I want to write fake commercials. The way we do our ads though is we won't use we've got so many offers to do ads, and I always say, no, what's the product? And they'll tell me, I'm like, no. There was a shoe company that called in, and they go, you guys want to sell? You guys we could add in Raisin Mercenary. Yeah, sure, whatever they pay. I'm like, and I go look at the shoes. I go, we're not selling the knees. No,
These
way.
are fine toeless Crocs. We're not wearing these. What the fuck?
And so we only
Socks with holes in them. Wait a minute.
That's all it is. That's all it is. We will only whore what we like, you know. So yeah, there's one more. What's the third one? Just later on. You want to do it now? Let's not do it now. We're talking about
This
ads.
episode is also brought to you by Cuts Clothing
Cuts Clothing.
with our guest speaker.
Cuts
John
Clothing,
Wayne.
ladies and gentlemen. Just an incredible piece of clothing.
They are.
Talk about it. You know, the demands of modern life. Your wardrobe should be as versatile as you are. You shouldn't have to choose between comfort and style.
True.
I use both.
In 2016, I've noticed, Cuts founder Stephen Borelli felt boxed in by his wardrobe. Boxed in. You know, he was trying to break out. He hated having to compromise between style and comfort, so he decided to do something about it. And he started with reinventing the humble, plain tee. The result, a tee that GQ calls the only shirt worth wearing. Stylish enough for the boardroom or the street.
We need NPR
or
music
the
in the
gutter.
background.
Yeah, exactly.
Comfortable enough for workouts in the gym or nights out at the club. You might think, do we really need a new take on the t-shirt? Short answer, yes. Yes, we did. Cuts became world famous for making shirts that look as great as they feel, whatever life throws your way. Now they're reinventing work leisure below the waist, too.
Cuts
Cuts,
clothing.
Cuts clothing. How
Cuts
good,
just keep getting harder to find.
how
You know
good
the cuts.
do you want to look?
Harder to find.
It's a t-shirt morning.
I gotta tell you,
It's
so
a
they do.
t-shirt
So they do.
kind of
So you know when you like
day.
even these, there's a couple t-shirts. As a dude, I wear t-shirts all the time, and there's a couple companies I used. When we got these, they just fit better. The material's better. They have little like a little snip in the side that makes they look better. They just look.
I've been much more attracted to him.
Thank you.
Just want to say that.
Look,
Look,
I have a t-shirt.
That's why
drawer.
you dress
But,
down with the hat and everything.
yeah,
so you
yeah,
do-
yeah,
okay.
right.
We all have a t-shirt drawer, and the problem with my t-shirt drawer is over the years, because everybody has t-shirts, they multiply like rabbits. It's like
Especially if you collect them from comedy clubs.
yeah. Stop doing that. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
thanks. No,
Yeah,
don't need it.
got plenty.
And then so I just cleaned them out again, and the only ones I didn't clean out are the Cuts ones. I cleaned out, and they're the best t-shirts. Ray likes them. Gentlemen, here's how good they are. As a dude, honestly, let's be honest. You put some shit. Look at how you're dressed. You don't care. Your wife didn't dress you today.
Honestly, let's be honest.
yes. Truthfully, let's be honest.
Truthfully, let's be
honest.
truthful.
Let's be honest. Honestly, let's be honest.
Exponentially, let's
John
be a
will
bit
never be on the
extra.
podcast again because it's like hanging out with
So Ray- no, my wife does
my
not dress
slightly
me.
older brother who's like, did you just fucking say that?
That's redundant, you idiot.
Yeah, so thank you. But
You're
yes,
welcome. You're welcome.
you wear something. You're just a dude. You just put it on. I actually, when I in my t-shirt drawer, when I'm like, I'll pick a t-shirt if it's Cuts. I'm like, yeah, this is the shit today. And sometimes I won't wear them because I'm not going somewhere nice enough to wear it. Good, it's good stuff.
You know what he did to me once?
Oh man,
This guy, this fucking guy. This fucking
do?
guy.
What'd I do?
We run into he's famous. He's
What
got
do I
the
gotta
TV
do?
show. We run into each other at the club. This is like 20 years ago. And he shakes my hand, right? He holds out, he shakes my hand. He goes, John, how are you? And then he does this. He goes, hey, you gotta start from the weights. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah,
by the way, I've been.
And there was a $20 bill in there.
By the way, I don't like my past. I don't no. It goes back to so we had Greg Proops on, and Greg Proops knew me when I was 19 and started comedy.
Oh, wow.
And we had who else did we have on? Oh, we had Jake. Jake Johansson was on, and Jake knew me when I was 19, started comedy. And Jake just very nicely go. I go, so what was I like then? Because I'm a grown ass man. I've been doing comedy. It'll be 40 years in 3 years since I got on stage.
Yeah.
And Jake goes, you were a lot. now, and Jake's so nice. That's as nice as he can say.
Listen, you were a driven guy.
Driven, intense.
I
still am.
It's not a business in which your primary idea is to help others. It's just not.
Wow, that's the nicest way someone's ever said you were an asshole. Your primary design is not to help others.
But it's not. But
you were a self-centered dipshit.
But you have to be so self-absorbed and focused on your goal.
Yeah.
My wife said to me once, she said, you could think of something and make it happen. Like when I met you, you said, I think I can do the Tonight Show. And I thought, that's insane.
It's a lifestyle.
Because you saw my act.
But then you did it.
Yeah.
And you know, a guy said to me in 1983, what's the goal? And I said, well, it's a pipe dream. The goal is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
He said, what's that? And I said, the Tonight Show. And I did it 7 years after.
You did it repeatedly.
Well, but the first time I did it was 7 years after I told that guy, 7.5 years.
And it's not just a lifestyle.
What?
It's not
Cuts.
just clothing.
It's Cuts
Yeah,
clothing.
he did this part, yeah. I thought we had finished it. but okay.
It's work leisure apparel for the sport of business.
The sport of business. The sport of business. I like
guys,
that.
go ahead. I'm just going to take a little.
Yeah. We got to do the code. Give them the code. Tell them to
Get 50% off your first order at cutsclothing.com/Titus. That's cutsclothing.com/Titus for 15% off your first order. And now back to the Titus podcast.
Use the
t-shirt-
promo
best
code
t-shirts I
Titus was an asshole. If we're not improving.
No. I know.
If we're not improving, we're not living.
Well, Leno's going to be at the show tonight, and Leno's doing a guest set. I'm just doing flappers, and they're saying, by the way,
I can't even get in
just
there.
so you know, everything's weird, man. I mean, so because Delta's still blowing through the country.
Yeah.
Did you see that last night? They said Europe is exploding again with Delta. And the thing is, our news isn't covering it, and it's just going like it's going. They did a map, and it was like, fuck, it's all red. Why is it all red? And so it's going crazy. They're killing. And so many people are dying a day now. Because although we have the vaccine, the rest of the world doesn't really have the vaccine. So everything's going crazy. So Leno's going to step by. And when you talk about being an asshole and reactive, the show's going to be what it's going to be tonight. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. So Leno's doing a guess it, and I love Leno, but Leno's the nicest guy I've ever known, and the most what's the word I'm looking for? You can't know him. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
He's really good at
remote. He's incredibly nice, and he's remote.
Yeah. Carolla's kind of like that too. I think people. Adam Carolla. Adam. Yeah. People that operate at a really high level, and I think they both do. Leno would just. I talked to Richie Scheidner one day about Leno, and I said it's crazy how much material he had. And Richie goes, you know what he has? He goes, there was a bit Jay did about motorhomes, and he made it this whole like homestead or house thing, and he goes, it was monstrous. And one day I go, how come you don't do a bit anymore? And Jay goes, what bit? What are you talking about? And he goes, the Winnebago. Oh yeah, that was a good bit. So he remembers it. He doesn't write it down.
No, he doesn't. Apparently that's true. He always says, if I think of something funny, I don't have to write it down. I know I'll remember it.
I'm the opposite. I have
and
to
me
write
too.
It down and
I have to write it down too.
Rehearse it. So the asshole guy was. I get my divorce happens, and it was insane. I was accused of this. The worst divorce I think I have heard of. Every time I tell the stories about what happened in my divorce, people are like, "Wow, you know, mine was bad." I'm in Monterey, and Jay's up there with cars, and I'm a car guy. I had to sell one of my cars. The court ordered it so we could sell. I had some really nice vehicles, and I'd sell it. So I'd take it to Monterey to sell it. Jay's like, hey, Titus, how you doing? And I walk up and I go, you won't believe what happened. My fucking divorce. And I unloaded on Jay in a way where, and Jay's not that guy. Jay's not the guy. Jay's like, let me hear the whole story. He fucking was like, And so I need to apologize to him because I slimed him. I slimed him with everything that was going. Because he did the Titus show. He came on the Titus show, and he did the Titus show, which is a very funny story. So he's on the Titus show. He played a guy who ran a funny car team. And but Jay's very funny. Got his lines down, knows what he's doing, but he has to slap Zach, the guy who plays my brother. Holy shit. No one taught Jay how to stage fight. He slapped the shit out of Zach. and in the middle of the scene, he's like, what? And he keeps hitting him. And Zach's staying in the scene. Zach's a pro actor. He's staying in the scene, but I'm watching him, and I know Zach, and he's doing this. He's getting his bell rung hard. And Jay's a big guy. And so we get done with the scene. Jay leaves, and Zach's like, that motherfucker beating the shit out of me. So years later, Zach's at the house. We moved to Tarzana. We're in the house. This is recent. This is like maybe a month ago. Him and his wife were over for dinner, and we're just talking. And I start reminiscing. I go, oh man, you believe we had Jane Lynch on the show. We had Leno on the show. And Zach, without missing a meeting, that motherfucker beat the shit out of me. It's 20 years later, and he still feels it. He's still got a fucking handprint on it. Exactly. You can still pull Leno's DNA off of his head.
He introduced me one night on the Tonight Show, and he said he promoted a gig I had coming in Vegas, and he said, "No, he's gonna be such in Las Vegas. Oh, that's when I'll be there. So we'll see each other." And I remember thinking, really? We're gonna see each other? I'm not coming over to your place. Right. A, I'm working, and B, I don't do that. You know, you just show up backstage at some guy on a ship. I'll do it. Yeah.
He likes that though. Jay likes that.
Yeah, but it's not my thing. Yeah. I don't. On the road, someone says, "Why didn't you call me and come over and have dinner at my house when you were on the road?"
Also, I think I don't like hanging out with comics.
I do.
Very well. It depends on who.
Comic,
early on though, but you got to remember, I was at 19, 20 when I started, and I was by far the youngest guy by 5 years at least. And they were all doing coke and drinking, and I'd fallen into a bonfire a couple years earlier, and I was like, I ain't doing any of that shit. And so I went home and wrote. I just went home and wrote. I'd go to a gig, go home and write. Go to bed at 3 a.m. Get up.
But the thing about hanging with comics is it's nice to be on ships, especially if there's a magician or a singer. It's just nice to be with someone who isn't a civilian.
Yeah.
And you can have a
Talk
Yeah,
shop.
well, on a ship, you lock me down. I'm going to find,
like one night on the
I'll
ship.
go talk to,
You're trapped on it,
Julie,
yeah.
Julie, the purser's
You ever
host, whatever.
forget? You ever forget that you're in a room full of civilians? Like
Yes.
I'm working a ship, and the cruise director says, "We've got a poker game tonight. If you'd like to come." And I go, "It's just me and the cruise staff." And I go,
Right.
Hey, yeah, I like playing poker. That'll be great. Sure.
Oh.
So and
Oh,
it's like a
no.
$20 buy-in game. Yeah, great, no problem. So we're playing, and there's a little repertoire. I don't really know too many people, and then I lock up with a guy over a hand, and he one-outs me. Right, he one-outs me on the river, and I say something, and like I would say at a comics game, right?
Yeah.
What kind of motherfucker,
Yeah.
And the whole table just whoosh,
Mm-hmm.
and the cruise director's like, we don't play personal here, John. And you just go, okay, I'm not with the right people.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
not with the
Oh,
right
you
people.
guys have standards.
No,
you guys can't just be a dudes. That's the thing.
But you and I can say anything,
Oh, yeah,
and you're not
yeah,
going to
yeah,
take it personally
yeah.
because
No.
I don't mean it personally.
No, and if it's really brutal and really funny, I'm gonna laugh until
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
Till I. Yeah, we do
That's
this all.
all I-
Him,
yes,
him and I
that's
do it all
good.
the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
but and that's
Well, my family was like that, though. My family, my dad,
Mine
sister,
too.
My sister, my brother Dave, who wasn't my step brother, and my dad would sit around. We went to this lake, and it was funny because the people around us, talk about civilians. We would sit there at night because we would throw these mattresses on the porch, this giant porch, and we'd all sleep out under the stars. And it was my dad and my sister, and we'd all have our heads, and we'd just start ripping on each other. And it became this round robin of just like, all right, your turn now. And they fucking, and we're hysterical. And the people around us like, you guys are fucking hate each other. We're like, no.
It's a bonding,
We
fun-
like each other more than you like you. You see, we talk to each other. You guys don't.
my daughter wrote for a college project at Bennington College in Vermont, this Shishi college she went to. She wrote a transcript of a chat she had with me. And everyone in the class was like,
Oh, wait.
oh my God.
Without asking you, she just.
Well, no, it's fine. That was fine.
Okay.
But we say, I for my daughter, my younger daughter, Isabel, I came up with the phrase for her. Why don't you go take a flying leap into the middle of Lake Shut the Fuck Up? And we also had Lake Go Fuck Yourself. But we would go off on each other all the time. And her fellow students were horrified. And she said they didn't understand that it was a thing that we do. Right?
Yeah.
What is it? There's a whole generation. Well, because there's a whole generation which was raised with participation trophies, and you can be anything, and it was all positive 100% of the time. And my dad was like brutal. If you fucked up a little bit, it got amplified. And then it got broadcast, and then it was focused. Look at this, the dumb guy, and then and I got you later in life that he was doing it, so I was a better person. And it doesn't matter how much therapy you have to go through to get through to find that. Oh, he liked me, because I got that's what someone told me. I go, he hated me my whole life, and I was doing this seminar, and the guy goes, no. I go, did he abandon you? He goes, no. Did he let you do what you wanted when you wanted? I go, fuck no. And he goes, then he was up your ass all the time, right? I go, yeah. So don't you love that person more if they up your ass all the time? I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, he really loved me. He loved me a lot.
My dad, when I stopped caring, when I stopped needing that thing he was never going to give me,
Yep.
then it was fine.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen until I was in my 30s. But you have to get to a place where you go, okay, I didn't get what I thought I needed.
Right.
He gave me what he thought I needed. I have to let that go. And once you let it go, it's fine.
And you need that time and that distance to
Absolutely.
look at it objectively.
Absolutely.
And understand the experience.
Like with my kids, my whole thing was information. At the dinner table, every piece of information I could give them literally was it. I don't care if you're embarrassed at dinner. I don't do it in front of other people.
Right.
At the 4-person dinner table, if we're going to talk about you having sex, we're going to talk about it seriously, and we're going to talk about what you have to do
And medically.
We're going
and
to
here's
talk
a book.
Like one night they said we were talking
This
about
is what
drug-
your insides look like.
Okay, you want to hear a great story? Well, okay, here's a great story. Okay, my older daughter is working at the Hollywood Bowl. one summer, and she worked there several summers, but I think she's 19 years old that summer, and she's driving my car to the bowl every night and home. So I'm staying up every night till she gets home with my car.
Yeah, it's your car.
So
I love that. By the way, I'm the same way. You worried about me? Yeah, and the car. Really?
Get my car. Get my car. So she gets home one night early, 11:30, a little early, and she walks in, and I say, "You're home a little early tonight." She said, "Yeah, all the other ushers were going over to so-and-so's house, senior usher's house. They were going to drop acid." And I said, "Oh, and you didn't go?" And she said, "Yeah, well, you told me never drop acid unless you're with people you completely trust." And I went, "Oh."
What a weird bit of almost like Grateful Dead advice that you put in. Like,
I did
That
say
is some tie-dye wisdom
you
right
put
there.
some Woodstock advice in his.
My thing was, I never told them don't do drugs.
Right.
I said, if you're going to do drugs, and you are,
Yeah.
if you're going to do it, just be smart and be safe. Call me, I'll come get you. And if you're going to do acid, you do acid with people you trust. You do not do acid with people who are going to fuck you up.
Such a weird moment where you're like, because of my, so I just.
She walked it back into her room, said goodnight, and I'm just sitting there going, fuck, I guess that worked.
It's great. It's permission, but there's some guardrails of love.
Be smart.
Because,
that's all.
Yeah.
Because we all know that the people that got their asses, like their parents were up their ass so far that they couldn't do anything. When they got one step away,
It backfires.
they went insane.
Yeah.
Pregnancy, drug addicts, needles hanging out. So you were like, listen, I know you're doing heroin, but listen, if you do heroin,
my brother used to go to
Catholic strippers.
high quality heroin.
Get your own. You got your own apartment, man. Whatever cereal I want, elbows on the table, chocolate milk.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how I just had this conversation with my daughter a couple days ago. My daughter and my son and I have been kind of estranged for a while because of their mom. I mean, the divorce was really bad, and so we had a really long talk. I was supposed to be here talking to him, and we ended up talking in front of the studio for like 2 hours.
So now he and I are estranged.
Yeah, we don't get along. We don't get it. We'll work toward it. We're working towards something,
on it.
a mutual agreement. But I brought up alcohol, and it's so funny because I wasn't in their life that much, as much as I want to be. They just pull away because mom makes them feel really bad. Like if they come have a good time with me, they go home, and then mom's like, oh, you know what your dad did, blah, blah, whatever. And she just poisons them. And that's been going since they were 2 and 4.
Right.
And she told me that. And she told me that outside. So she brought up, I said, alcohol. So I said, so are you drinking a lot? And she it was just weird to watch her trying to figure out how to lie and not lie at the same time. And I said, hey, I know you're drinking. I go, you know why? Because you're 20. You're doing something. I go, just be careful with drugs. And again, if you ever need me, you can call me. I'll come get you. And then she goes, yeah, I drink. And sometimes I take a month off. And
a month off from drinking.
Yeah, that was a little. But how much are you drinking that you have to take a month off from drinking? Like that's like
detox.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
and
boy.
I'm at Reflections Malibu. I take a month off. What happened?
A guy
I met Keith Richards. Wait.
Guy I know said, yeah, I've been diagnosed with PTSD. And I said, please try to stop drinking. He didn't like that at all.
No. By the way, yeah, because you probably take. Isn't it funny how everybody's thing is so important now? We were just talking about the Chappelle thing, and by the way, here's my opinion about the Chappelle thing. Bunch of jokes. If it offended you, don't watch Dave Chappelle. There's some shit that offended my wife that he said, and she's a comic, and she was like, "That's a joke. I don't agree with that joke, but it's a joke." I know we're gonna get a lot of shit for what I'm about to say, but I don't care. Like, if you're trans, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. But boy, isn't it weird how everybody has their thing? If you're right wing and you believe in Trump and someone doesn't agree with you, holy shit, did they lose their shit? Yeah, you like the Democrats, fucking libtard, and like, whoa. Fuck! Do you think that much about me?
This is different though, in the sense that it's making jokes about a specific group that apparently seems to feel as though jokes shouldn't be made about them. I don't know.
Yes, that's exactly.
I don't know. Do they feel that way?
Well, because it's not just jokes to them. It's a call. They're saying it's a call to violence, and I said, and what got me in trouble.
Well, that's bad if it is.
But it's not. I watched the special twice, and I'm not trans, but I watched the special twice. What I got out of it was, here's what I got out of it. I watched Dave, and he started out doing a bit called Space Jews when I thought, and then he did this women shit, and I was like, okay, he's poking people. He's going out of his way. Then he did the story. He did some trans jokes. He
doesn't need to do that. That's the weirdest thing about Dave. He's so talented. He doesn't need to go out of his way to poke people.
But I don't think he did. I think he did it to make a point. I think he did it to make. I think he did it to point out how sensitive we're all getting.
Well, that's
so. Then he does. True. Then he does this thing, and he does some jokes about that. I guess he had someone in a bar came up to him and was like giving him shit about a joke he did in a special. And then he told this story about this woman that he knew that was trans woman who he let open his show. And then he goes, what I didn't know, she'd only been done comedy 8 times. And frankly, she was horrible. It's one of the worst sets I've ever seen. She bombed for 40 minutes. And he goes, and then to her credit, because he said any other comic would have left. She goes, but she sat right in the front row and then watched my show and laughed her ass off. And at one point she got heckled by the audience and she turned around and slammed the guy and it was really funny. And, he goes, and then he tells a story where he talked to her and he goes, in her responses to me, we had a dialogue about the trans community and it was really funny. It was great. She was backstage with him and backstage he said with all these, he said all these big bad, these players and he said she was funny as hell. And he goes, so I told her I'd help her with comedy. Tells this whole story and then she killed herself. Then she backed him up on stage. So he got trashed for his last special. She went online and said, hey, I know Dave. He's not a bad guy. He's a great guy and he supported me. She got attacked for weeks on like just drug by the trans community. And I think Dave tried to point out that maybe it was her fault. Suicide is suicide. I've had 2 suicides in my family. You cannot blame anybody for suicide. You cannot blame it. It is... You can't say it's your fault that they committed suicide. No, they were going to commit suicide. I know a friend that worked at Hotline. It's not the trans community's fault. It's not Dave Chappelle's fault. People are who people are. What I got out of it though was I used to think of trans people as trans. You're a trans woman named blah blah blah. That's what I used to think. Now after watching Dave's special, I thought, oh, Daphne happens to be trans. It was a subtle shift, but I was forgetting the humanity of who that person was. And because of Dave Chappelle's special, I get that now. Now what's making me mad is people are so fucking triggered and lit up. No one can accept. I said that on Twitter. I go, this is what I got out of it. I'm wrong for what I got out of it. Do you understand?
I didn't realize that.
I can't even go, no, what I got was that trans people are people first, then they happen to be trans. Right. In my own bro dude stupidity, I was thinking, oh, that's a trans person named Steve. Yeah. Whatever. No, that's not, and so I switched it and no one would buy that. That's what I got out of it. And I said, and then I was pointing out that, guys, don't you think that if Dave Chappelle said he had a trans, a woman, Daphne was a trans and she was his friend, that he was going to help with comedy? And they go, he's causing violence from trans. I go, no, he's not. I go, if anything, aren't these any bro douchebag that likes Dave Chappelle's going to go like, oh, Dave was friends with the trans girl. Okay. Right. They don't need to get hassled.
And isn't that every?
But don't you think that? I mean, you have to watch it.
Dave's a genius. Dave is a great comic.
But here's
I'm sure if he wanted to, when you get as famous as Dave is, you sometimes can't differentiate the line between I'm doing a joke here and I'm preaching here.
Yeah.
Bill
Hicks?
No, Hicks.
Hicks.
Bill Hicks was the one who blurred that line. He got to a point where it wasn't jokes anymore. It was preaching. It was TED Talks, right? So and that's partly because of what the culture has done to stand up as well.
Well, I mean, someone said
I got mad because he said Hannah Gadsby wasn't funny, and I think she's hysterical.
I had the same reaction. And then I talked to my wife about it. She goes, did you hear what Hannah Gadsby said about him to Netflix?
Yeah, I did. Well, she said he had a stunted worldview. What she was really saying was, she was really saying, don't get me involved in this. But Dave is great, but she is a paradigm shifter in stand-up. The OJ special, the I've Met OJ 4 times special, is the best comedy hour I've ever seen. Yeah. And I've seen them all. Yeah. It's the best one I've ever seen. Right. Where the 4th OJ was the encore. That was so brilliant.
Yeah.
But,
is this the one? Yeah, this is the one he did in that big thing in Texas.
Yeah.
In Texas, yeah.
But but Hannah changed how we look at stand-up. Dave didn't. Dave's just a great practitioner, one of the greatest. You know, I don't understand.
I
people
think
who don't like
Hannah
her.
funny. I watched the special. I watched it, and
There are
funny.
two of them.
I saw the
Second one's
first. I saw
even
the
better.
first. Is it? I saw the
Second one's
first one.
even better.
I will say this. She does. I like to do the one man show style. She takes it to another level.
Yeah.
But it's not joke. It's
No,
not,
it's not.
But I think. See, I always write every sentence should have a punchline. No matter how dark, deep, and ugly. I talked about my sister's suicide in Carrying Monsters, and after I get to the moment where she killed herself, I do 3 jokes about her suicide.
Isn't that what's great about stand-up too? Is
Yeah.
we all have our own
True.
way of doing
Everybody,
it.
it's the only, music and stand up, I think, are the only, and even music gets genred out too much. But I think stand up, as long as you're funny, it doesn't matter. Maria Bamford, Jesus. I sit in the back of the room and watch Maria Bamford, and I'm just like, I need to quit this. You know what? I can be janitor is a good job. It's a good paycheck.
Did a set in Ventura, and a Canadian guy, I'm embarrassed, I can't remember his name. He claimed we'd met. He went up and did mostly audience for 30 middling for me.
Yeah.
And I remember watching him thinking, wow, man, you better be on tonight. You better be
'Cause
on.
he was good at
'cause
audience,
he's killing it. And then you walk up and you realize, oh, okay, my muscle's different.
Yeah.
Right.
My muscle will be
Right.
Oh, I got to tell you one story about that. First show in Ventura.
Okay.
First show
Is this
in Ventura.
is this the Harbor Comedy Club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First show back, I'd done one corporate in Napa, which didn't count. And first show in a club in a year and a half. And I do a bit called This Is How Old I Am.
Right.
And it's like, tell me how old you are without telling me how old you are. So I don't tell you the age. I just tell you this.
Right.
I tell you what I can spell. Because I grew up when they taught you how to spell, right?
Base level.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I can
so
spell.
I've opened that bit for 4 years with one joke,
Right.
and I decided not to sweat. I looked at my notes, but I wasn't sweating it. I was going to go up and see what happened.
Right. Sometimes best shows you ever had.
Right. And I go up and I say, I'll tell you how old I am. When I was a kid, my parents vaccinated me. Now, I'm not talking about COVID vaccination. I'm talking about being vaccinated when you were a kid in the 60s, polio, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the word vaccinated opens a giant sinkhole on the stage, and I fall into it. 3 jokes into the show, and I spend the rest of that first show trying to climb out of this stupid hole I've made for myself.
Because of the word vaccinated.
Because of the word vaccinated. Whole
Well-
audience got triggered up.
Well, but isn't that weird though? Get triggered like that. That's the whole thing about. I don't like when it comes to the Dave Chappelle special. See, what you said, he's genius that he did, and if he offended some people, that's kind of what comedy does. I know people that can't stand George Carlin, fucking can't stand him. They're like, no, he fucking said this and this. I'm like, hey, okay.
It was different then, too.
Was it?
Yeah, the acceptance was if you were desperately offended by it, you didn't have 10,000 people immediately on Twitter you could talk to about it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right, it faded. You're right. It
right.
didn't get amplified. It faded.
It
You're
spikes
right.
now, and everything's condensed.
Well, I do think that Dave also sparked a conversation about the trans community that everybody has to kind of hate, and I think that not being able to accept, like, they can't accept that I got something out of it that's very positive towards the trans community. Like, people are mad. Like, I did a thing I did last night. I couldn't go to sleep. I wrote a thing about Gilligan's Island. Island. And one of the responses was, maybe you should stop thinking about meaningless stuff like this and start thinking about your position on how you hate trans people. I'm like, what are you talking about?
First of all, I
can't
don't hate
tell me
trans
what
people. Secondly,
I-
writing meaningless shit is my life.
That's what I said. I go. First of all, I don't hate trans people. I go, and I go, this was a joke about Gilligan's Island. I go, are you kidding me? By the way, this is what I got out of it. No, that's not fucking right.
Well, I foolishly said, if you don't think Hannah Gadsby is funny, you don't know what funny is.
So I retweeted it.
And
I retweeted
I got one guy said, I don't find her funny, but I will bow to your expertise in this matter. And I said, that was one guy. Everyone else was like, she's not funny.
But that's the problem. See, the problem is Dave Chappelle to end that set did a funny joke responding to her talking shit about him to Netflix. That's all he was doing. It's like you fucking.
It was a joke saying she isn't funny. You have to admit.
The joke was basically she ripped on Netflix to him. He goes, you will not summon me. You will show up at a place of my choosing, and we will.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And he goes, and my last demand is you have to say that Hannah Gadsden. So he did it in joke form.
Okay.
Based on what she said about him. So as a comic, if you came out and you said, fuck Christopher Titus isn't funny, and it got big, I would have to address it at one point. God damn it, don't fucking do it.
Titus. Christopher Titus is not funny. And what's more, but you know what I mean though?
Like, and if Hannah Gadsby can't take that joke back, I go, so just that you had to respond to it, which is fine. I get you're a comic and I think she's funny. Fine. You can't get what she was without being funny. She's funny. Whether I think she's the best funny or not, doesn't matter. She's funny. Got it. She can elicit laughter from the audience.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's the baseline. Dave did that as a joke. That people got fucking split like that over a joke.
And I was one, foolishly.
Well, you didn't. You were gentle with it.
I didn't think he should have
scrambled
on her not being funny because she is funny. But
hey, look, comic to comic,
we all get
we all get fucked.
Okay, this is going to screw me, but.
Dude.
But this is going to screw me. But I got to say,
this is never airing already. Just because I have my own opinion.
Part of being accepted,
right,
in a community is being joked about.
Yep.
Yeah.
When people start joking about your group, it means you are on the road of acceptance.
Yeah.
It actually does mean that.
Mm-hmm. It's a process of becoming accepting.
Please edit this out.
No, he pointed this out. No, he pointed this out yesterday. Do you remember late 70s, 80s, when the gay community was literally the butt of joke after joke after joke, and then AIDS came. Then there was AIDS jokes there was like brutal AIDS jokes for a long time. For a long time. And then they were the kind of off of a pariah, and then they got in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, 90s, and then all of a sudden now it's like the gay community is jokes about themselves all the time, and they
now they have their own comics.
Yeah, but what's worse to me is, and listen, as a straight white man, I get it. No matter what I say, I'm fucked. Got it, and well deserved. There's thousands and thousands of years of totally deserve it. I know history. Fuck. But you have to be able to go. That was okay. I didn't like those jokes. That was out of line. He also did Space Jews. He also made fun of women. You don't have to like Chappelle. Great. But Dave Chappelle didn't stab anybody. And I will say this. I am pretty good at this. And what I got out of it was that trans people need to be treated with humanity like everybody else. And not that I didn't feel that, but I didn't aware. It was just such a shuttle shift. I was like, oh, fuck. Trans is not your identity. You're fucking Susan or you're Dave. You're not trans Dave. And that's what I got. I was like, oh fuck, even I had fucking missed it. Yeah. And I think I'm fairly insightful about this. But it took me to watch Dave's, and I watched it twice because I thought, did I miss something? Like the din was so heavy. I was like, okay, I watch this again. And I was like, no, I got what I got, and that wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. And what I got was quite positive. What I got out of it. Now, I think the knee-jerk reaction of Twitter, any of the social media, is killing any chance or possibility of us even uniting as a country. I'm not just talking politics. I'm talking sexual lines, economic lines. It is ripping the fuck out of this country.
Well, yeah, because this myth that we're so different. It's a myth.
Yeah, it's a myth.
That talk radio created so that they could point to the people you need to be fighting against.
Yep. Bone, blood, hair, sinew, muscle. Oh yeah, we all have kids. Oh
DNA.
Yeah, and we have
DNA. God! A guy said to me, the other day, my
families.
wife sold pharmaceutical products. She sold vaccines for 10 years. She knows everything about them. It changes your DNA. And in my mind, I was saying, well. Perhaps she doesn't know everything about them. Perhaps there's a couple of things about them she doesn't know.
I followed. I said, so she had a degree in sales.
Right.
She wasn't a virologist.
She didn't develop them. She was selling them.
She just told them, okay, All right.
Just carried boxes of them.
And that's the other thing, my own research thing. I
Do your own research.
Jesus Christ! Like that. If anyone says that, I instantly go, "We aren't talking anymore. You did your own research. We're not talking."
Well,
anymore.
the whole thing about why go to a doctor? You shouldn't. If you think science is bullshit, why are you going to a doctor?
Right?
Yeah, great.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go.
If you're
Don't
going to do your own research,
Pray
do your
more.
own surgery.
Pray
Right.
more.
You know,
Remember, our parents used to do used to home dentist us. We weren't homeschooled. We were home dentist. My father would put a string on the tooth. He would anchor it. And he would go, "Relax.
Yeah, and slam
what are
the
you,
door."
pussy? Relax, for God. Stop shaking. Hold on, I'm gonna get a cigarette." Start to light the cigarette. They'd shove the flame in your face, and you'd pull the tooth out yourself.
Well, that's
That's
what you
love.
guys did. You did it with fire.
Yeah.
My dad just
Really.
sit in the chair. He hooked it to a doorknob and went, "Ready? Wham!" And he went, "Bang! Ha! Oh, I said, "Wait, better. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Dad.
I'm gonna go right back."
Blood and smoke. It's a taste you never forget.
I like that you got flamethrowed in your face. Ah!
Whoa! Think fast, kid.
wow. My dad just right hooked.
That
It
is
wasn't
that is
with
such
fucking
a
fire.
violent.
Carol Leifer had a great joke. My father wanted
Very
to
funny
make
lady,
us.
Carol Leifer.
Carol Leifer. She said my father would come into my room with 2 flashlights. He would stand at the end of my bed, shine the flashlights in my face, and he'd go, "Look out, truck!"
So thanks for being on the show. I
My
really,
pleasure.
And you filled in, you helped us out, man. I know I was going to wrap it up now. I was about to wrap it up. So you don't.
Well, fine
am I
then.
boring
Wrap
you?
the fucking
Am I
thing up.
fucking boring you? Thanks for getting through this with us. And again,
problem.
man, people, go see John Wing. He's getting back on the road. He is funny. Or book that cruise.
Book that cruise.
For myself, John Wing and the Highlander. Later. Say goodbye.
Bye, guys. Nice seeing you.
There can be only one.
Yeah. Peace, guys. Thank you so much. And God, don't cancel anybody, for God's sakes. Just
One
be-
driver. There's
just
only one driver.
Be you. We're fine with everybody being them. Because they're not fine with me being me. That's the
One
part that
neighbor,
bothers me.
one Lincoln, one Jefferson, one Highlander.